I think it's two
those are the
things.
mysteries.
I think the basic principle of what he was saying, and also the reality of who he is today. You say he alive, so why wouldn't Jesus
That's it.
also
The reality of who he is today.
Yes.
It's a good word.
Because we evolve as a people. We are constantly growing forward.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know why we think God wouldn't be moving forward with us at the same time.
Absolutely.
Like, he obviously was here and there at the same time.
Right.
So he knew today. It's like an evolved communication. It's an evolved relationship.
So we catching up.
Well,
I be like, he probably be like, y'all still trying to, I actually was saying this today, but since you want to do this from back in the gap, sure.
I think he is the evolution that we are. I think he's the culmination of the evolution already.
He would do the same.
He doesn't have to change.
When Jesus showed up and they were still doing Old Testament stuff, and Jesus showed up with the new, with the fresh, they wasn't ready for it. I feel like Jesus would show up today and do the same thing. He would like blow up the New Testament to us. He blew up the Old Testament to them.
He blew it up.
He'd blow it up. He'd be like,
y'all out here still washing feet?
Actually, like this were the principles you're standing on, plus one.
Yeah.
Welcome to Redin30.
I was ready too. I was ready, bro.
While he gets his life together.
Hey, welcome to Redin30, where we make you Redin30, literally. We got 30 minutes to do this thing. 30. And we in here. Hey, get the new song. Listen. Turn me up, DJ.
When I thought that nobody could see me, thought I was keeping it G. Yet in my mind it was nothing but scheming. And that you wouldn't believe. Only the heart.
You gonna do a little live singing?
Thought I was working it out.
We need to make sure that's really your voice. Turn it down a little bit. Turn it down a little bit. Let me hear the real voice. You be talking about everybody at the award shows and everything. Let me see what you can do live on the mic. Let me see what you can do live.
Okay, I'm not a Mario.
Stop. Y'all need to stop.
I can do my songs.
Let's see what you're really working with. Huh?
Oh, no.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Oh, man. I ain't never seen nobody air drum off beat like that before.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's how I go.
Every day I'm grateful.
Yeah.
What?
No.
Hey, we at Red30, so we here.
DJ GJ.
That song was brought to you by Redin30 Radio. That was Donovan Montrell. New hit single, Grateful.
You know what? I'm streaming it after that. Every day.
I gotta go get it. We here.
I gotta get it.
Red30, baby. Nakia back. What's up?
What's up?
You back. Pastor J, you back? We back. We got the gold chain on, man. We out with our gold chains on, man. We out here doing
I
the
got a
thing.
chain on too today.
Oh, we gold chain in
gold?
there.
Okay.
That's what I'm talking about. Gold all in my chain. Bruh. But we back, Red30.
Don't
we talking
believe
about
me,
Jesus,
just
truth, and
watch.
you. All using red words, and we here again. We here, man. We've been talking about parallels and different, parallels of the church and what's real. I think last episode we stopped talking about, what we talking about?
He's brought up a question at the end.
Yes.
You remember the question?
About
Yeah,
succession?
I do. The question was, who came, we were talking about Peter and Paul, based on the parallel, having two churches. And so, two examples or two images of the churches, or how do you want to say it?
You the church.
Two visions, viewpoints, all that, right?
Yeah,
right.
all that. And so, looking at it, who was a person, or what was the succession that came after Peter versus the succession, or in parallel to the succession that came after Paul?
All right, so let's do this. Let's do this for a quick minute.
All right. Before
we really get into it, let's break down what succession is. Go ahead.
Okay.
Break it down for us.
Like a fraction?
Yeah, like a fraction.
Okay, it's two words. It's success, and then it's eon.
Eon.
Yeah.
Ion.
Great job.
Ions of success.
Yes. Come on, Trail.
But that's so succession is really like the success.
It's based on success, yeah.
Yeah, success is an example.
Yeah.
What it is?
No, you want me to say it or you say it?
Go ahead, you say it.
You want me to say it?
You say it.
You
got it.
All right.
Oh my God, let me
Success
Google the
means
actual
what comes
definition.
next.
Hold on, that's it?
What comes next?
So it's not, good things, or it's not having a good business or money or things. It's not none of that stuff, huh?
Just what comes next.
It's just whatever comes next, that's success.
Yeah.
You can be a successful killer.
Yep.
I would never say that's a good thing, but they got the job done.
Yep.
It's what came next.
Yep.
Right. So don't be trying to look it up. It's what came next. Yeah.
I know it is, but sometimes I like the etymology just in case we learn something
You don't think we got
new.
that from etymology?
Maybe let me see if I found something else.
Do it say that on there?
Let me see what I'm seeing. Let me see what I'm seeing.
They say that on
Can't
there.
ignore and bypass.
This is where let me sip my tea.
first.
This is where we got it from.
Okay.
You done? You finished or you done?
You say what we thought it was
I'm
going
gonna
to
waste
say.
my drink, boy. Hey,
Red.
I almost wasted, bro. So,
You know what?
Succession. So,
Yeah.
what comes next? So,
Yeah.
we're trying to see Succession. Who came after Paul? Who came after Peter? Break it down. I'm listening. I don't know who came after nobody.
Oh, no, that was my question. Well, I mean,
You
I
was
know.
like, I got a lot to say about that.
Yeah.
I do because I have another thing, but when we talk about Peter and Paul, I don't know.
'Cause I know for
who's
sure
I think-
Paul and Timothy, right?
Paul and Timothy.
And then
And he sent him back for a minute, didn't he? Yeah, I think he sent him back for a minute. He told me he couldn't come because somebody was with him.
Yeah. And so it wasn't the same as like with Elijah and Elisha.
Right.
Elijah
And
was like, I
that's
ain't
what
going
I'm going to
nowhere.
talk about.
Yeah, okay, my bad. And
perfect.
then I think with Peter, it was I looked it up and it went to somebody named Linus or something like Saint Linus or something.
Like on Charlie Brown.
Charlie Brown, yeah, Linus. And so they was like he was his successor. So I don't know if he came like right after him or just like down the line or something
Okay.
like that. I just had to do more study to see. But
Right.
I just don't remember like reading about anybody.
I got a question.
I just can't. I can't remember. I don't know.
Oh, no.
Anybody worth mentioning?
Mentioning it,
That's
like
so terrible. But
came
yeah.
after Peter.
But
The rock that the church built on.
I know what came after him.
What came after Peter, bro?
the book of Acts,
Every
huh?
denomination that exists. The Catholics and the Methodists and the Episcopals and the full gospel and the word of faith and the full corner, the full square. I don't know what they call them. The all of them came after that. Those are the children of Peter.
Would you say, and correct me if I'm wrong because I don't know if I got the same. What?
There's a lot of
A
kids.
lot of kids, illegitimate. I'm just playing. Go ahead.
So and so up, so and so up, so and so.
What's your question?
55 times. The book of Acts, would you say that's like the result of Peter's, I don't know,
No.
succession?
no.
I mean, because, I feel like maybe I don't have a good
Well, and once again, I'm not.
picture of.
Here's the thing. Although when I was, 4 or 5 years old, you know what I'm saying? I didn't do everything like I should have been doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I didn't get dressed like I should. I didn't. Maybe my hygiene wasn't all the way to the point like it is. You just didn't know some things, right?
Right.
But it doesn't mean that my 4th and 5th year of my life didn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
It just was an immature time. So I'm not going to defecate on those times in my life.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm just going to say that it's a process of the growth.
Mm-hmm.
So let me say that while we're talking about Peter, Paul, and all different ones, that we're not negating them. I heard a guy say in the book the other day that he said, it's a lot of times it's based on the level of understanding that they had in the time that they lived in.
Okay.
So you got to realize when Peter and Paul were alive, there was no gospels.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The gospel was written actually after the epistles.
Right,
Yeah.
right,
After
right,
Acts,
right.
so there really wasn't any of that there. So it's crazy. We have a different perspective or take on it. It's almost like the hindsight is different.
Right.
Exactly.
So I don't want to get to the point where people think it's being disrespectful because I'm not.
Yeah.
I appreciate their moments in time and what they donated or what they what they gave to their time in the time that they were in. Yet I'm not gonna live there, and yet I'm not gonna because I'm living in another time.
But that's a good conversation too to have.
That is.
Not being so stuck in the 2,000 years ago.
Well, you're not stuck 2,000 years ago, and Jesus told him. He said, Moses is dead.
Mm-hmm.
He said, "I'm talking about before Abraham was, I am."
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Stop talking about all your prophets died.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? He said y'all killed them. They were hot with it.
Mm-hmm.
But he's trying to say to understand. He said I didn't come to do away with the law, I come to fulfill it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So it's an understanding. But so I'm not knocking that. But I think what we have done is we have jumped in the. I think this is why Redin30 is important. And once again, because Jesus and his red words are eternal.
That's the difference.
There were times that he was speaking to people based off where they were in that point in time. But then when he gave his understanding of his relationship with God and our relationship with God, it was an eternal thing versus, a timeline thing. It was
Like
eternity.
historic. It wasn't.
He never said that we weren't from the beginning.
Right.
He never told us that we weren't.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? It was always like you had to become aware. You have to go. Shout out to aware. You have to become aware, right, of what's going on. New
New single.
single, and you got to become aware of what's going on. And like I think you said a couple episodes ago, you said awareness or
Ability.
or awareness. The ability is always there, but if you're not aware that you have it,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. So I think what happened is we attach ourselves to moments in time historically,
Yeah.
and then we attach ourselves to principles in time historically. And because we do that, we begin to live there here. That makes sense to you?
Yes. I think we can respect the results of, you know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
this caused this.
Right.
But then like you do have to live in the moment, because if you keep talking about respect, I think about the people who, you know, give so much worship to their ancestors.
Right.
But-
Except the rapists and the drugs.
That's a good point.
And the killers and the rapists and the
Yeah.
molesters on it. They don't want to respect those ancestors.
Yeah, but it's dead.
I digress.
Like it is dead for real. The ancestors, what they do, you know, like we can respect the cause and respect what we have today, but like you do have to realize you're alive. The only other thing that's past and still alive is Christ.
Right.
Is the word.
I am.
Yeah, that's the only thing.
Well,
like
so
I don't know
let's-
nothing else that's dead and still alive.
Well, let's go basic customs.
Which
Let's
is
go-
not dead at all, right?
When is the last time you walked
It
in somebody's
was, it
house
still is.
and they offered to wash your feet? Not never. You've never done it, not in your whole lifetime.
What was the question?
You walk in somebody's house and they offer to wash your feet or give you some water to wash your feet. Why? Because you didn't need it. You got tennis shoes on. Your feet were clean. You washed your feet before you left the house. You had socks on and they were clean. You're not walking around in the dust all day like Jesus them were doing.
And it's customs. It's like where you live. Like we just Western in general.
Right,
Like
and
we
then,
wouldn't
then,
even
then
be.
but even them over there right now, they still don't do that. Like ain't nobody walking on no dirt foot no more. Nobody's
people
doing that.
are.
When I walk in the house, I guarantee over in Jerusalem they got air conditioning now.
Yeah.
Over in Jerusalem and Israel and Bethlehem and Galilee, those are real places that it really exist right now.
Yeah.
I guarantee they got running water, they got ACs and heaters, they got bathrooms and toilets and stuff. So it's different. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so
Ooh.
you know, there's no need to be washing the feet. So what we've done is we took something that was purposeful for a time and made a ritual out of it. You don't anoint me with oil right now. Don't pour no oil on me. I know we make it a spiritual thing or whatever. No,
Right, because if you're not gonna do all the old customs,
don't do none
that
of them.
doesn't even.
Don't do none of them. Listen. That woman
Then
broke,
don't be picking the ones that you just got today.
that woman cracked that oil and the alabaster oil, which is precious oil, and it's precious because it smelled it. She cracked it over Jesus' head. Yes, it was a gift. Yes, it was all the things y'all want
But
to
you
say.
don't even have an alabaster box.
But
nor are you a
you don't even-
unmarried woman who's waiting to break this for your.
But you don't even understand what he meant when he said she prepared me for my burial. Those that had money would put oil over their buried loved ones so that when they started stinking, the smell would overcome the funk that is death. So when they put them in a tomb, they'd still smell good. And people visit the tomb and still have an aroma of a good smell. That's what that was for. It had nothing to do with anything in the atmosphere and spiritual.
that
It was an exact point. When I give you water to wash your feet, I'm doing when Jesus was washing their feet, he was just showing a humility.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And that's the humility that you show anyone when they come to your house.
Yeah.
Right? When you come to my place of being, that's the humility. That's the honor that I'm giving you for being here.
Yeah.
He's honoring them.
Yeah.
He was actually honoring them more than showing humility.
Yeah.
He was honoring them, but if you don't know the customs, realize. So now y'all out here washing people's feet. They doing it at these weddings and stuff. And somebody had a joke that they talking about they washing the feet. The funniest thing to watch is when they wash each other's feet at the weddings and stuff. And then you watch the groom struggling to put his socks on a wet foot.
I've never seen wash feet at a wedding.
They're doing it now.
And doing it now. Why?
And that's look. I think we're gonna have Raj on next episode.
Oh yeah, right.
And we're gonna have Redin30 relationships. We're gonna talk about all that too.
Well, yeah,
Because
definitely talk about the washing of the feet.
Well, they coming up with so
Because
much
that's
stuff
what
to try
you
to make
do
it feel
for
important.
But like that was a lesson for you with people in general. I don't understand the correlation with just wedding.
There's no correlation. People just want to do something different these days for their wedding.
Okay.
And they're trying to, everybody
Trying
looking
to
for
go
the
viral.
new thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
trying to go viral, right?
Oh my
There's
god.
no correlation.
Oh look, he washed her feet.
You know what
He
gets
really
me?
love her.
Do it tomorrow when anybody looking.
Right.
What gets me is
Right.
like the
After she
praise
work out.
break. How people have this praise break at
Open
the
and walk
altar.
in
She
Right.
just stump the yard.
Right. Wash them feet. After she ain't got no pedicure in 3 weeks. Go wash them feet. Shucks.
Oh my
Oh
God.
my God. Oh my God.
What you saying, the kid?
I'm sorry. Yeah, go ahead. Cause we're about to go in on it. You remember what you're saying? You don't remember what you're saying? Well, I'm saying that we've taken these old customs,
Yeah.
and we make them a live thing now, and we don't understand the principle behind them.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Yeah. And it's almost like a succession thing because now we're living today as if as Peter and Paul. So now, like even like all the stuff that they did in the Book of Acts, we're still doing the same thing. The basic principle still remains the same, right? But how you do those things sometimes is a little different. We're not riding chariots.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We're out here driving cars. We're flying planes. You know what I'm saying? So it's a different ball game, but you got to catch the basic principle of what he's saying. And I
think it's
that
two
those
things.
are the mysteries. Go.
I think the basic principle of what he was saying, and also the reality of who he is today. You say he alive, so why wouldn't Jesus
That's it.
also, I guess
The reality of who he is today.
yes.
It's a good word.
And I want to use
great.
this word evolve, and I think I might have said this before. Have I said this before?
Go.
About evolving?
Say it now.
Don't know.
Because we evolve as a people. We are constantly growing forward. And I don't know why we think God wouldn't be moving forward with us at the same time.
Absolutely.
Like he obviously was here and there at the same time.
Right.
So he knew today.
Right. The
And so
forward
it's
move that we moving
an
towards.
evolved
He there already.
Yeah.
It's like an evolved communication. It's an evolved relationship.
So we catching up.
Well,
I be like, he probably be like, y'all still trying to I actually was saying this today, but since you want to do this from back in the gap, sure.
I think he is the evolution that we are.
That's good.
I think he's the culmination of the evolution already.
He would do the
He
same.
doesn't have to change.
He would do the
Right.
same when Jesus showed up,
Right.
and they were still doing Old Testament stuff, and Jesus showed up with the new, with the fresh. They wasn't ready for it.
With the what?
With the fresh.
Expect the fresh.
Expect the
With the
fresh.
what?
GodCan'tFail.com. But
What?
I feel like Jesus would show up today and do the same thing. He would like blow up the New Testament to us.
Yep.
He blew up the Old Testament
He
to
blow
them.
it up. He blow it up.
He'd blow it up. He'd be
He said, y'all out
like,
here still washing feet?
actually, like this were the principles you're standing on +1, but you missed that +1. Like he was plussing them up every time he taught.
Can y'all come up with one? I got one. You know how
What's
he
that?
said, if we slap you on one cheek, turn the other, like the ones he said, you say this, but I say that.
Yeah.
I got one.
Okay.
If Jesus came in 2022, he would say, y'all still taking communion? He said, y'all say do this in remembrance of me. But I say, he said, y'all say as often you drink of this cup and this bread, I say every time you get a cup or bread.
Yep.
Yeah.
Every time you eat and drink, do it in remembrance of me.
Yeah.
That would be the conversation because obviously we misinterpreted that.
Yep.
Second Sunday.
It's a ritual.
Right. Second
It's
Sunday.
a ritual.
Third Sunday, fourth Sunday, whatever Sunday you do it on.
We following the old map.
Because it's also this idea, and we can go to kids next, but it's also this idea of wanting to keep certain things so sacred that we really limit them in the impact that they're supposed to have in our everyday lives. By putting them as a one-off. So now we do it just on that Sunday, just at this time, and we keep it holy, we keep it sacred. But then, like, what happens the other 30 days out of the month?
Exactly.
Before we get back here.
It never becomes life. It just becomes
You know what else
that
was sacred?
day, that special day.
You know what else was sacred? Them cows that they made, the children of Israel made out of gold when they was wandering in the wilderness. They were sacred, called sacred cows.
What happened to those?
Murdered them boys. I'm trying to murder your sacraments and all that. I'm trying to murder it because once again,
And we still selling stuff at the church, and he turned over. Like,
if it's a sacrifice, then that means that you actually believe it's yours. So you have to grow past the sacrifice. It is no longer for it to be a sacrifice. That means you want to keep it, but you're just giving it up. The maturity of that is realizing that it's all his in the first place.
yeah.
So what are we talking about?
Day one, yeah.
Y'all are still trying to keep things sacred, and I understand it, but I get it.
Yeah.
I feel it sometimes emotionally, but then I have to snap to myself and realize, hold up. So as often as you eat and drink, forget this cup. As often as you eat and drink, do it in remembrance of me. Just remember that you're alive because of me, and you're living because of the life that was given you by the Father. So as often as you eat and drink, which is very, very often for a lot of people, do that and remember me while you're doing it.
Yeah.
Every time you drink water,
Yeah.
or coffee, or whatever you're drinking, Do it in remembrance of me. Every time, come on, every time we have a communion right now. Every time, I need something. Come on, man, give me something. I don't know, give me something. I'm about to, come on, give me a piece of what? Ain't got no bread over there, nothing like that. A piece of cake or something. We about to do communion right now. Y'all want communion right now, bro?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
Come on, man, give me something. Every time that you pick up the cup.
We never know what EJ goes.
Bro,
Oh,
not this
EJ,
cake, bro.
EJ, the worst person to
this cake,
bring
bro.
us food.
Hey, bro.
EJ, leave that over there.
I don't know what else we got. What else we
Grab
got?
some over
Potato
here with
fries
the
or
new
something,
food.
man.
Hey, sweet potato fries.
I was like,
man.
why he ain't
Give me
going this
some-
way?
Give me some fries or something, bro.
EJ, the worst person
Yo,
to
this
bring us
man, we
something
got
to
that
eat. The stale.
That's fries right
been out
there?
all night.
That's fries. Pass the fries. What they gonna think? What they gonna tell us? What we
it?
unholy?
Really?
Yeah.
I'm holy because
Now,
he holy.
you say as often as these fries cold too. You say,
It's
come on, let me
okay.
pass around like the ushers.
I got mine.
You see, you wait. No, see, look at you. Look at you. See, look at you.
Jesus said as soon as
No,
you touch it.
no. He said as soon
You
as
say as soon
possible.
as you touch it, you
You
better
ain't say as
just
soon as
eat it.
possible. This girl said, you said as soon as possible, eat it.
You sound like Eve.
My man, you sound like Eve.
Wow.
See, look at us. Look at us.
You
Look
gonna
at
do
us.
me like that?
We gotta fix it now. We gotta fix it now, Jay.
Y'all not even
gotta fix
right,
it.
man.
As often as you eat.
As often.
Cool.
You sound terrible over there, Mike.
And
Yeah.
often that you drink,
Blow.
remember me. We should call this episode "Remember Me."
Yeah.
Remember me.
You want another fry?
I'm good.
Okay.
She eyeing him.
I saw her looking at her. That's why I said. But it's
Him.
if he came, I like that. I like that if he came and he would uproot
Why
it
not?
all over again.
Oh yeah, every time.
And I think that's what he is here.
Because you haven't
And us.
moved. You
Right.
haven't actually moved with him. You keep saying he's alive. If you really,
Brother,
really believe
the
it.
traditions of men have made the word of God of none effect.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
In other words, the word made flesh, it can't even happen because you're doing the word in tradition.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ain't that crazy?
Yeah.
You still out here trying to, like we talking about
You're roboticizing the word.
Man.
like me and Jan were talking the other day about Elijah and Elisha. And I told him Elisha asked for the wrong thing. He want a double portion. That's weak.
Preach about it.
That boy asked for the weak double
That
portion.
was a weak move, bro.
He should have asked what the Lord want.
Come on.
Not my will, but thy will be done. We don't know what would have happened then.
See,
Yeah. Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Solomon asked for the wrong thing too. Weak.
ooh,
I
they
want
not ready
wisdom.
for that.
I want wisdom to keep your people.
Child, they
Oh,
not
I want
ready
wisdom
for
to keep your people.
that.
They about to be mad at me. I want the wisdom to keep
They
your
mad-
people.
Why you
mad
talking
right
like Solomon
now.
like
He
that,
should
bro?
have said, I want wisdom
want
for
the
these
wisdom
hoes.
me.
That's what he should have said. I want wisdom for these hoes.
Oh yeah.
They're all them hoes that he had.
He needed it.
I want wisdom for these. But he ain't asked for that, did he?
He needed it.
Clearly, where was the wisdom then? And now he over there crying because
Sure was
Yo,
crying
but he
about
got what he
him.
asked for though.
he did get what he asked for.
He got wisdom to lead his people.
Lead his people, not
he
lead
ain't had wisdom
himself.
for his life
He-
though.
Ooh,
boy.
that's, hey, Jay,
That
Jay,
is so
Jay,
true.
That sound like a lot of today's leaders.
Yes. Yes.
They got the wisdom
Yep.
What book
to
he?
lead the people.
Build a church. Yeah. Do
Do
this.
all
do
that, yeah, but they can't lead their own self.
Oh,
That's a good word. That's
Yeah.
a good word. Not my will,
that would
That
be
but
would
done.
that would
be
be done. It's
done.
the only way
Yep.
to wisdom for yourself and it's
Man.
personal.
Yep.
You know.
100%.
I love it 100%. So now you got Elijah. Now, what the red words do to me is make me see everything different.
Mm-hmm.
You got Elijah
Always.
and Elisha. He get double portion, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Who comes after Elisha? You remember?
Gehazi.
You know who he represent?
Who does he represent?
He represent what the
You know the
church
Bible
look like and what the people do right
Came
now.
after that.
Yeah.
They were supposed to be. It was supposed to be succession,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
but you wanted possessions.
Oh, come on, Trail.
You get it?
Bar.
So now, if y'all know the story, y'all gonna look at it. I don't know what's Kings is in and all that. So
Yeah.
you go look at it. But Naaman, it's Naaman, right? I think it's Naaman comes to Elisha to, you know what I'm saying, to get a healing. Elisha tell him go, I think in the River Jordan or whatever.
Yeah.
Dip 7 times. He got mad or whatever and da. He was like, man, just go do what you gotta do. He go there, be get free from leprosy. He come back bearing gifts. Elisha, no, I don't need no gifts. Don't give me that, because you're going to say you made me rich and da. So I don't need none of that, right? So he sends him away. Gehazi goes of his own accord. He goes after him and says, my master wants some changes of clothes. And it's like, oh, okay, of course. We were trying to give you more than that. He gets in and goes back, take it to his house. Elisha discerns it and realizes when Gehazi comes back in, he said, because you did this thing, and you didn't do it like I did it,
Yeah.
he said the leprosy that was on him is going to come on you.
Wow. Oh, wow.
He went from, you ready for this? It's good. You ready?
Yeah.
He went from legacy to leprosy. And
Come on, Trail.
Yeah, he traded leprosy for legacy. A legacy for leprosy. And now we're here. And if we see the current state of how we live, if we ain't on these red words,
Come on.
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Then we're trading our birthright for a pot of stew.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And
It's
that
over and over, bro.
and that literally goes back to one of the previous episodes about in Jesus' name.
In Jesus' name.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because you didn't do it the way that I, did it.
Yep.
You go have it like this.
Yeah, have
Yep.
it like this. This is the way it's gonna
So
come
you
out.
go miss it. You
Yep.
got the opportunity. Like you might have like if you do, you might.
Right.
But if you don't, you're not gonna have it.
You're not gonna have it, and
Yeah.
you're gonna miss out on all the beauties. It's almost like it's funny because, and I always say this. It's funny that the things that you're trying to work towards are trying to gain, whether it's in careers.
That's crazy.
That's crazy, bro. Careers, money, relationships, the things that we're trying to gain so much.
Yep.
It's already in Christ.
Yep.
I think I can do all things through Christ.
Yeah.
It's not a progressive thing of, it's empowerment. Most people see it as empowerment. I think it's an actual telling you what's already is.
Yeah, it
like,
is.
yo, all this stuff you're trying to do,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can do all things
It's
through
built in.
Christ.
It's
Yeah.
built in.
But
Yeah.
you actually want what you already are.
You
But the
say it
reason
again,
you
say it again.
want, you actually want what you already are. But the reason you want it is because you don't know you have. Like, that's the only reason you want it. But it actually is telling that you actually have all those things.
Didn't I tell you we were talking yesterday about some things? And I said, we got to remember to live from our core.
Yep.
We got to remember to work from our core because
Yep.
it's very easy to get caught up living in the work.
Yep.
Or living in the expectations, or
Yep.
living in and now you're doing so many things, and that's the trick.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's trick of the enemy. That's the trick from the garden. I want you deceived,
Yeah.
so that you can't have a firm foundation in the concept of who you really are. But you have to remind yourself as often as you
Eat.
Come
do this in
on.
remembrance of me. Well, when you remember him, who you remember?
Yeah.
You remembering your doggone self.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? I wanted to
Yeah.
say something else. You know what I'm saying? But you remember yeah. And so when you remember yourself, then you remember to work from that truth.
Yep.
100%.
You remember that true self.
Yeah.
You begin to work from that. And now, not only are you filled with the Spirit, but it's really talking about filling life with the Spirit.
Yeah.
Come on.
You begin to
Exactly.
feel what you're doing, your job, and the people that are around you become filled with the inspiration of God.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So,
But your soul is so valuable.
Absolutely.
When you said like
Remember.
why would you
Remember?
want to gain the world and lose your soul?
right.
Feeling life. Keeping your soul
Yeah.
at the end of the day. That was really good.
Hey, this one was rough.
No, yeah, it was.
You was about to go off.
I got one more question
Come
Okay.
on, we listen.
before we end it.
Uh-huh.
How, Trail?
Like Houseway?
How do I? Yeah, house way. How do I keep the basics? And then what was the second one you said?
Your soul?
No, you said it was two things: keeping the basics, but then knowing that He's present today.
Yeah, no need person day, right?
How
Keeping the base in the reality of who he is today.
today? How?
Red words?
Renew your mind.
On the what?
Daily basis.
On the what?
Come on.
Red words.
On the red words. Every day. And expect the fresh.
Expect.
Yeah.
You hear me?
Expect the fresh.
Talk your talk,
Give me some
Nikia.
applause. Give me some
Yeah.
applause.
Talk your talk, Nikia.
Expect the fresh.
The girl said, "You hear me?"
You hear me?
Hey, this has been Red 30, guys. Red 30, where we make you red in 30.
He got something else to say.
We had 30 minutes to do it, and we did it.
Yeah.
We did it in 30.
Easy.
Easy.
We'll see y'all next time,
And we
red30.com.
out.
Get in on the reading.
Blow.
We out of here.
Easy.